listening to the Krows Korner podcast.
Yo, yo, yo. It's your boy Adam Mill.
And this is Krows Korner.
Waha's absent this weekend. You know what I'm saying? A little under the weather. A little tired. Get well soon, brother. Another rainy Friday. Y'all out there, y'all be safe, be warm, especially in the city of Baltimore and the DMV. It's very dangerous out there. We want to see y'all get home to y'all family safe, you know, and healthy. All right, another episode of Krows Korner. I don't know if it's 17 or 18, lost count.
I think it's 18.
18, been a rough stretch. But we get through it, you know. Everything has its climax, and then it drops, and then it evens out, and then it goes back to what it's supposed to be, you know. So got a few topics. Keep it short and sweet. Unfortunately, you know, I want to talk about the police department and you know, how, you know, do we feel safe as citizens here in Baltimore City? I really want to hit home, you know, domestically on this episode. I don't want to stray too far from, you know, hometown. You know, I don't want to get too far and abroad, although there's a lot of stuff going on. 2019 kicked off, unfortunately, with a lot of foolishness, you know. Government shut down. The dude from Empire lying about he been choked, gagged, and beat up with a noose around his neck, and kind of find out that was a hoax because that was based on his salary. I wish I was getting 100 stacks a episode, but you know how that is. For some people, it's never enough. You know. But how was your weekend? I mean, how was your week this week, Gov?
Just work. All I do is work.
Unfortunately, me too. Work and dream, yo. Work and dream. You know? But hopefully what we do here for the people, what we do is for a passion, and it'll pay off, if not for our kids or grandkids. You know, everything happens for its reason. Yeah, getting back to, you know, law enforcement, police. Young man from the police force recently that's passed away, condolences to his family. Joseph Banks passed away from a heroin overdose. And they talk about police reform and stuff like that. And it makes you wonder, you know, like, damn, you know, opioid, this epidemic here, especially in Baltimore City, been plaguing since I was a little child. You know, had a big heroin, you know, fight with heroin, war on drugs. And the last people you will ever think that, you know, has that type of addiction are the ones who try to enforce the law or try to get it off the street. But when you have, that's when you know you're living in a different time, different beast. Maybe this been going on, but now that we have this thing called the internet, and people are very hungry for like media shame, these things are coming outwardly more. You know, they probably been around us, but now it's just outward, you know, just out in the open more. You know, so it probably been people in the police force that was getting high off of cocaine, crack, heroin, different types, all types of drugs. You know, now it's just been, you know, more open. The young man was 24 years old, man. He died in front of his girlfriend. And the weird part of the story is, I don't know too much on it, but it's like she hesitated to call the police help because she thought that he would come up out of it.
Yeah, so that was both of them.
Yeah. So, You know, so, you know, it's very scary. My thing is, how can a person with that type of addiction focus on a job, a 9 to 5? Not only that, but a job that requires that type of responsibility of policing the people, policing the city. One would have to be focused, right?
But when I think he was on suspension at the time anyway.
Yeah, I understand that, but like, yeah, but why was he on suspension? That's the thing. That's something I should have investigated on.
It sounds like it's similar. He probably had issues.
Yeah. Because, you know, the norm, you know, somebody's dealing with alcohol, you know, and...
His dad's in the force. So his dad probably got him the job, you know what I mean?
Yeah, brought him in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he needed work.
But this is the thing, though. How many people was like Mr. Joseph Banks?
That's
in the
all
law
segments of
enforcement.
society, though. That's all segments. You're getting people. You're getting human beings to be cops. So there's a chance you're going to catch somebody with something.
True. And then, not to jump subjects, but to stay on it for a little bit, we elected a new police commissioner, Michael Harrison. And during his election, there was 11 shootings over the weekend in Baltimore City.
Yeah, but I mean, they've been bringing in. It's like been a carousel of them. They just bring in a new one every few months anyway. So that's not gonna really. That's not anything. It's not like he's out there shooting people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And nor is he the Superman that's going to solve the answer, you know, be the answer to the problem.
Right. So I don't know how the police. I think the main issue with most people in general is we ask people that can't do things for things. They get upset at the government for things, and they can't even do the simple things they're supposed to do. But we keep saying they're supposed to give us more. You know what I mean? They can't do it.
True. So, I mean, I'm trying to figure out a time. I'm about to get a little deep into this. I'm trying to figure out a time in mankind's history before there was something called, you know, a police force. How did we govern ourselves?
But they probably always had some type. Everyone's always got some type of policing, you know what I mean? Civilization didn't... I mean, that's the only way civilization could have been, you know what I mean, grown anyway. They had to have some sort of law and order. Always been law. So, and the people that administered the law, they had their own ways that they police. Like jail is a relatively old concept, you know what I mean? So...
But the concept of how these Europeans over here look at the prison system is totally different. It's more of a cash cow than anything.
I mean, yeah, that's a lot of things, but I'm just saying, but when you basically break down just basic policing, there's always been around.
Yeah, because...
But when you think about the sadistic aspect of things behind the scenes, it's much deeper than, you know what I mean? It's much deeper than the scope. Like, say all these little... They put a new police commissioner. It's just a figurehead. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. Because it doesn't matter the fact that they bring in some local guy when you got these things happening on an international scale. So some local guy's not going to stop. That's like you standing at the boat. You got a flood coming in and you're standing there with a teaspoon. You're not going to stop anything. So that's what the police... Change the police commissioner, you change the mayor, you got the same thing.
Got the same thing. But the people that elect these people,
they're being sold a bill. They're being sold a false bill of good. You think you're making a choice, you're not making a choice. They give you the choice. Choose between these two that we've handpicked for you. They both will do exactly what we want them to do. Choose.
Gotcha. But what if just say the people were in power to choose, right?
Yeah, but they're choosing the ones that they handed to you.
Yeah,
what are you choosing?
But I'm saying like a hypothetical. Let's say if the people were in power to choose, meaning to pick the best person for that position, will things then probably change, or the makeup is just the same no matter what?
But if one person is not going to be able to change the whole thing, though. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are profiting big time off of the situation as it is. Both sides of the aisle. You know what I mean? Big time they profit. This is why it stays like it does. D.C. is full of lobbyists. You know what I mean?
Break that down for the listeners and people like myself.
You got all types of industries are represented in D.C., and these people are getting paid millions of dollars, living luxury lives. And they fight for bills that fight for their particular interests. Meanwhile, the main people, we don't have a particular lobbyist that we can just send to the folks. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Therefore, our particular interests aren't heard. So you might think your interest is heard as being a fellow Democrat. You might think the interest is being heard, but that's only the interest of the Democrat Party to make sure that they maintain their power, not that the Democrat voters get what they want. So if the Republican is the same thing with them, you think that, as a loyal Republican all these years been voting as one, they're still not voting for your interest. They only voting for their particular party leader interest. That's the main thing. So when it comes down to it, they'll package a lot of things and give you a little headline and say, ooh, look what we gave you. But they don't tell you everything they took from you to get it. You know what I mean? So that's the game that they're playing, and both sides play it very well. And we spend so much time arguing and fighting and choosing and loving this one and hating that one that we missing the whole point. You're losing.
So what do you think is a good solution for the people, and not only just for the people, but particularly for the African American? What is the solution that you think of? And don't hold back, no hold bars, man. You know what I'm saying? What do you think is a solution for? I'm not saying to solve every issue and problem, but to make things move forward and show and see and feel progress. What are the things that you would institute or whatever?
First thing, turn off the poison. Constantly consuming poison will only kill you, and that's pretty much what we do. And it's not only what we eat, it's what we watch, what we listen to. And these people are telling you all these little bits. They'll give you a little piece of truth, and they'll just surround it with lies. And we'll just sit and eat, and wonder why we're clogged up. We're not eating real food. And that's physically. And then mentally, the same thing is going on. Spiritually, the same thing is going on. Politically, they're doing the same thing. So when you put it down together, you got a bunch of people that's walking around like zombies. Until you turn off, see these people on networks, regardless of which one you want to watch, CNN, NBC, ABC, Fox, all of them, even down to ESPN and all the rest. These guys are still telling you all this stuff. You know what I mean? A boy ain't a boy, a girl ain't a girl no more. You know what I mean? And they're trying to tell you that this got to be right. They're even trying to tell you the idea that if I say I don't want a trans woman, that I'm somehow discriminatory. You know what I mean? So these are the games that they're playing, and you're just confusing the minds, and you're making a lot of people turn into zombies. And then we talk about what's going to happen in the future is the same thing that happened in the past. A lot of people, the main masses of folks, under some sort of dictatorship, all living poor because we all gave up the right to think for ourselves. That's what's going to happen. So until we unplug from the poison, we won't be able to think.
And that's a slippery slope too, man. When you say, and I agree with you, when you say think for yourselves, it's almost more like it goes back to what we were saying earlier about laws and who lay down the laws. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if everybody has their individual mind, and of course it's only human nature for people to share ideas and think and agree similarly. You understand what I'm saying?
But there's a difference between that. That's a free exchange of ideas, what you're talking about. I'm talking about